never heard that, but that's the origin of CAP. I'm going to look this up. I'm going to look.
There's a principle that
Right.
we have to follow.
Yeah.
We have to have.
Be true to yourself. You don't have.
And when I came back, the place was a mess. So I knew I was missed.
Deep in here now. Now
It's
deep.
incredible. I love it.
Me
That's
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And, and applying the recovery, I thought. Hey there, everybody out there. This is Steve, and I'm here with Maurice on Getting the Herd. He's another partner in recovery, so we're going to talk to him about his story and what he's doing now.
Yes. How you doing? Thanks for having me. Appreciate being here to share my story, my strength and hope, and hopefully I can be impactful in someone's life. Again, thank you. My name is Maurice Morgan, CEO of New Pathways Youth and Adult Services. I have 3 locations, 2 here in Virginia. I also have a location in Georgia and one in Texas, providing mental health support services, psychosocial services. We work with children as well, and therapy services. So yes.
So how long have you guys been around?
Now it's been 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
2011. That's when I started. Actually started in my living room.
Okay.
Had to move out of there once the neighbors got tired of the staff meetings,
Right.
Taking parking spaces. So that didn't last too long, but moved around a bit, expanded out to the Virginia Beach area, probably like during COVID. Kind of expanded out there. So 14 years.
Okay. So you started here, and then where else did you spread to? Virginia Beach?
So I went, so this is the order. So I went 2011, I started here. I would say around 2016, I opened in Georgia. From there, in 2020, I opened in the Virginia Beach area. And in 2024, last year, I would say around the end of the summer, this time last year, I was accepted in Texas as a provider.
Okay.
In Houston. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Pretty good.
A lot of red tape to get that going down there, or just
Not too much red tape, is whether or not you have what they ask for.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Some of the basic things, making sure that you have professional liability insurance, making sure that you have the proper staff, the training. We're CARF accredited. A lot of behavioral health state agencies look for you to have an accreditation that's CARF or JACO.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So you're from Richmond? You were telling me about this before. You grew up here?
Yeah, I grew up in Churchill, 37th Street, right by the Boys Club. My mom was a school teacher at Chimborazo, middle class America, if you would say.
Yes.
Pretty good child life. We were kind of like the Fat Albert kids, because we were like right by the dump. And we would hang out there on the weekends, because some trucks used to, drop off old toys.
Right. Find all kinds of random things.
We used to love to go over there and grab stuff. Tape recorders that didn't have a cord, and we would, speakers, just all kinds of stuff. We would hang out down there. Yeah. So grew up there. 80s, 90s. Right when everything's
Yeah, we were talking
right when the bottom fell out.
When things changed around here.
Yeah. Pretty good childhood. But in 87, right when I came out of high school, is pretty much when the epidemic of crack cocaine was heavy in the neighborhood. And I caught the bad end of the stick.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, caught the bad end of the stick, experimenting, had no idea the impact that it would have on my life. I looked at it as being harmless, hey, try this. Hey, it was no different as how I kind of, looked at maybe smoking a cigarette or sneaking a sip of, a Colt 45 at a cookout.
Right. Well, back then they told you everything was bad. So
yeah,
then you found out everything wasn't so bad. So then you think, okay.
Yeah, that's not so bad. Right. Drink a beer here and there. still was able to function and go to work,
Right.
Go to college. I was going to J. Sargent Reynolds at the time, and I had someone that was from my childhood that was caught up in the world, and I was green. So when he introduced it to me, I had no idea what it was. Actually, I had never saw cocaine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I didn't have that type of background. Nobody in my family really dealt with that stuff.
Right.
School teachers, everybody worked hard. And that wasn't a part of the program with my family, but I ended up finding myself experimenting, didn't know, and ended up getting caught up. And that was 88. So I probably struggled on and off from 88 to 2009.
Yeah.
21 years, I would say.
Okay.
On and off. Sometimes I would do well. I may stay off of the drugs for a year or so. Then I would fall off again. I was in and out of college. I have a hobby. Well, I don't call it a hobby. It's more of a passion. I DJ.
Okay.
So, in between my relapses, I would DJ. I'm on the radio.
Right.
Doing mixtapes, pretty well known in the city, but sometime or another, I would always find myself relapsing and going back.
Right.
To the same old foolishness. Things got real bad to the point where I lost everything. This was like 2003 when I pretty much ended up on the street.
You're like, this is now a problem.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. My mom pulled the rug out from under me. I don't even want to call it pulling the rug out from under me because it makes it seem like it's
right,
like she did something,
Right.
But the rubber met the road, and I needed to grow up.
Yeah.
And I needed to make some transitions. And even after she put me out, I scraped my knees a lot. It wasn't like I just, hey, I'm off drugs now. Mom put me out. I'm all grown up instantly.
Right.
It didn't happen like that.
It usually doesn't for most people.
No. So I kept down that roller coaster, but I'm thankful that I had something to grasp for. I think we were talking about that before.
Yes.
Being that my mom was a school teacher, paid bills, lived in, I would say, a fairly decent neighborhood,
Right.
and until the crack got into the neighborhood. But I didn't know what it was to be hungry, lights out, not having clothes, not having food. I didn't know what any of the things were. So I just saw someone that was career minded, did great at her job, so for me to get off of the drugs and have a vision to say, hey, I can do something with my life.
Right.
I had an example to show me that things can be done. You can go to college, you can be successful, you can have a career. And there's so many individuals out there. And, I was thinking about it that didn't have that background, didn't have that parent,
Right.
That to show that model.
No example.
Right. And that strength that has to be pulled from that type of situation is great. It's great in either way you look at it, but to not have anything to pull from, has to be pretty difficult.
Yeah, you got to learn the basics, like what stability looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody didn't know what stability looked like, then you add drugs on top of that. It just it's just counterproductive.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad to have made it out of that mayhem. Definitely lost time.
Right.
People like, I don't live with any regrets. I still live with some freaking regrets.
I think that's an honest answer.
Get out of here with that foolishness.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I get it. Oh, you wouldn't be where you're at now. I'm like, okay. So kind of when I look at it, it's like I had so many opportunities to get clean. You know what I mean?
Right.
I remember my first job, I was working at this factory, and they had the EAP, Employee Assistance Program, and I was in this thing and going to therapy and going to these groups right there in Carytown, real nice spot. And that was my first introduction to being in any type of group. So when I look back at the, people saying, well, oh, it just wasn't your time. I mean, I had plenty of opportunities, I made the choice to wait. I made the choice to not adhere to the messages, to really work the steps in NA. That's not there.
Right.
Those steps are just not there. They really could work for anybody, when you think about the steps. But if you're really trying to clean up, you're really gonna, take all the advice and become a sponge. Because if not, your addiction will talk to you, man.
It certainly does, doesn't it?
Man, it's like you got another person inside of you. I can remember one day going down Midlothian Turnpike and saying, okay, Maurice, go home. I knew I had some money, and I knew that feeling that overcame me, and I'm fighting. I'm going down Midlothian, and it's like, okay, do I jump here on the highway and get home, or do I keep going towards Belt Boulevard and
and everything that comes with
in that area? And it, my brain was saying one thing, but the car was going in another direction. I had so many nights where I had that internal fight and that battle, and I lost a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of those. Hey, it's paycheck $750. Okay,
you negotiate with yourself.
I'm gonna put $100 in my front pocket and go to the corner with this. I'm gonna pay my other bills with this other stuff. And
by sunrise, it's
sunrise. Oh my God! I'm waking up with the birds.
How did that happen?
Oh my God!
How did that happen again?
Yeah, it's just the horrors of it all. And that's why McShin is a great place for individuals to pump the brakes, if you would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give a place of solace, the community of having the support of other individuals that are like-minded, because that's important.
Yeah,
that's
one of the things I like about it here. It's all peer run.
Yeah. That's important, because even with running the agency, at times I may have a counselor that's fresh out of college,
right,
and they haven't experienced anything yet, and sometimes it's not always a good match in regards to bringing somebody like that with somebody that may have substance issues, and they would rather look to a peer, for that guidance than somebody just coming out of school,
right,
and them trying to give them, the book sense of how to get out of the situation. Not that it says that it's not relevant, because it still is relevant. The information is very relevant. Don't get me wrong. The interventions of that are there, but when it comes to who it's coming from, there's a difference.
Yeah, they don't identify with the messenger so much.
No, not at all. It's just different earmarks. I can, deal with a client and go to their house and look around and know what's going on in here, versus a novice eye that may not notice the little circle spots on the table,
right?
From fixing your crack pipe or whatever, and you see several circles all
right.
Little stuff like that.
It's hard to get by on people like us.
Right, correct. You're not going to play that game with me, and not that I'm abrupt or anything. I'm very relatable, but understand what you came here for.
Right.
You came here to get services. You came here to get the help. I don't mind holding your hand in the beginning, because sometimes it takes that.
It does.
Just the trust of you trusting us, with your life, and saying, hey, I want to get things together, and us showing up when we're supposed to show up. So, but once we've established that, we have the expectation that, hey, we're going to take off from here.
Yeah.
There is a better side. And then you can't tell me that it doesn't work, because look at what's going on in my life.
Right.
I can't,
Yeah, we got a building full of success stories here.
Yeah, for sure. And it's a level of appreciation for what has been created with New Pathways. I don't take it for granted.
Right.
Each case that comes across my desk, whether it's here, Atlanta, Houston, wherever it is, I take it to heart.
Mm-hmm.
I actually reach out. Some of the referrals come directly to me, and I'm creating relationships myself. They're hearing from the owner.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, do I tell them I'm the intake coordinator, or do I say I'm the owner? Like, what do I say? But either way, they feel supported when they call.
Yeah.
Because I know what it is to be in dire straits and be in those low spots, and need someone to talk to.
How do people find you?
We have a website. It's npysinc.com. I don't know if you could pull it up here. There we go. It's npysinc.com. It's got the little squiggly things over there on the right. It has the different locations. There you go. So you see there, it has Georgia region, Texas, and the Virginia region, and it also has a drop down of the different services. As well, you can submit a referral directly online that comes straight to the office. I get an email instantly when that happens in regards to referrals. So sometimes I'm calling to set up the assessments, or the initial intake with some of the cases, no matter where they are in each state. Because I travel around between the states.
So when you decided to stop, like, how did you find NA? Was that your pathway?
Well, I know. Don't get me wrong. NA wasn't new to me when I stopped. Okay, right. So I picked up many white chips. Definitely been in the rooms a lot. It pretty much went back to, let me use everything in my tool belt now.
Right.
When my mom passed, and it's like, okay, I got to the point where it was like, enough is enough. So it was more of a decision that I made. Mm. It wasn't so much that NA was going to be my savior in my sobriety. It was just a part of my tool belt.
Yeah.
Understand what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Just like going to church, just like having an accountability partner that may not have anything to do with NA, but just somebody that knows your walk and knows what you want to do in your life, and somebody that's holding you accountable.
Right.
Having a therapist, having, an added person in your circle to help, with the whole thing. So it wasn't just the NA piece. I enjoyed NA. I had a sponsor for a little bit. Went through. I can't lie. I didn't get through all the steps.
Right.
Have I worked them here and there? When you think about the steps, I think we all are working the steps.
We're all about that. Finding your own pathway here.
Yes.
Whatever works for you. Whatever actually works.
Yes. Yes.
But do something.
Do something.
Right.
That's for sure. And one thing that keeps my head above water is when I look at where I'm at and the level of responsibility that I hold now, and the individuals that are dependent on me. Mm-hmm. That holds a lot of weight. And I am big on the brand of New Pathways,
right.
And the brand being we are that empathetic agency that understands. And this isn't just business as usual. You just come in,
right.
And, it's robotic, and you're just a number, and it's not that. We have peers that work for us. Mm-hmm. We have individuals that work for us that have been through a few things.
Right.
We have a parenting group here in Mosby Court periodically, and we have another one over in Texas and Houston, and we just recently had one, and they were talking about domestic violence. And I happen to have an employee that was a victim of domestic violence and was able to speak from a special place, and the participants could definitely relate.
I'm sure they could.
Yes,
that's a different effect than just talking to
somebody. Yeah, just talking from from a from a, what do you call those things? Whether you're doing I can't think of the thing.
I think I know what you mean.
The little picture thing that goes like a slideshow. Versus doing a
PowerPoint.
PowerPoint presentation of domestic violence, page 3,
Yeah, exactly.
Be in a safe place, So,
right.
All right, let's talk about, when I'm staring at the ceiling, it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm scared and I'm having all these feelings, so yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you have planned next, like in your life? Expand some more?
One thing is just utilizing what I already have. One thing that's more important than anything to me is qualified staff. Mm-hmm. In this field, it can be a lot of turnover. We have high standards in regards to training to make sure that individuals are prepared for the field, and we're just not sending people out unprepared.
Right.
To deal with the vast, enormous amount of situations that they may come across. So it's important that my individuals are trained. So I would just say just continuing to enhance my training module in regards to individuals coming in to make sure that they're well-rounded.
Right.
And basically we can handle any situation that may arise. In regards to your mental health.
Let's see. If you had something to say to somebody out there that was where you were before you got into recovery, what would you tell them? Somebody might find this out there and they might hear it.
I mean, okay, you cannot give up. That's the bigger thing. You have to keep trying. You have to find supports. And even when you cannot find supports, you have to dig within to make this change, because nobody's going to do this for you.
No, they're not.
Nobody in the motivation can't be somebody else.
Right.
In no shape or form. And when I say that, when you're dependent and saying, hey, I'm going to do this for mom, what happened when you and mom falls out, or what happens when your mindset may change in regards to mom,
or that person makes you angry, or
whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And you're set up for
failure.
Right.
So mom might tell you, oh, you can't stay here tonight. That's the thing too. Don't get to the point where you feel like people should see me now, because you're going to hang yourself. Meaning, you may know you're at a certain point, right?
Right.
You know when you're at a certain point, hey, I got it together. I can, I'm no longer feeling this feeling in my stomach anymore.
Right.
I can spend my paycheck the way I need to. Other individuals don't know that yet about you, and they will still place judgment on you.
Yeah, they will.
Now, you can get caught up in that foolishness if you want to. I left a lot of carnage. Some carnage that I, like that stuff, certain stuff brought back to me like, damn, I didn't know I did that. And it's like, you affected somebody's life.
Yeah.
The way they thought about you, all of that stuff was affected. So when, we can never get on a high horse and saying that now people owe me this certain level of respect. Never get to that point where you're feeling that way, appreciate whatever people bring to you that's in a positive realm and that energy, that other energy is going to come, but you can't let that suck you into, a case of the, I don't give a damn, or, nobody ever sees me,
Right.
past the crack pipe, what I'm saying?
Yeah, just go right back to
it. What is that all about? You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Because I've never won. When you look at a record, like if any team wants to win, you want your record to be 50-0. When I look at Crack Coach Kane, I'm what, 55 now. I am, like, Jesus Christ, I've never won.
No, I didn't either.
Like, I've never come out on top. I don't think I've ever gotten up the next morning and had something to hit.
And you never wake up saying, "Oh, I'm so glad I did that."
I'm so glad I did
That's
that.
So cool.
I want to do that again.
That was great.
Yeah. That was some great stuff, man. When I say I've had some horrible nights, I don't, that's a whole nother podcast as far as
I hear you.
Talking about some of those stories of the desperation that I've experienced.
The situations you find yourself in that
you can't
imagine, like, how did this happen?
Yeah, like I don't know, I really I'm a very spiritual person, and being close to God, was a big part of me, getting myself together, going to church, being around some good folk. I always had that background. My mom, we grew up in St. Paul's over in Churchill. So, always had that background. So I understood about, spiritual warfare and praying and things of this nature. I remember this one night I was living on, not Idlewood, Meadow.
Oh yeah. That was, I lived very close to that area too.
So I was on Meadow. And this was around 2003. I had already lost everything, lost my job and was looking for work or whatever. And I started praying, but I was not praying to God. Mm-hmm. I don't think you heard what I just said. I actually started saying, hey, I know this sounds crazy, but this is so true and insane. I started praying and said, hey, Satan, I want to get high.
Like, that's your business. So, like,
hey, man, this is listen. Can't make this up. So I sat there. I was like, man, I'm trying to get high, man. I was like 10, 15 minutes later, car pulls up. I can't make this up, man. Hey, Reese, what's going on? And I looked at him, knew him from back in the day. I said, what's up, man? He said, same thing.
Right.
I already knew what it was. And I was like, hey, I don't have no money. I ain't gonna get nothing. I ain't had nothing until like Friday. I had maybe like 2 more checks to get from the company I was with. But it's amazing the depths in your mind and the things that you do. Like,
I can relate to that 100%. Like when I would make that decision, like just the tiniest bit of movement towards that bad decision, it would meet me more than halfway.
Yeah.
Like 90% of the way.
Yeah.
Just in the weirdest, strangest way. Like it would just.
Yeah. Yeah. I've stepped out of my car and pawned my car, I've taken a jacket off my back in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
It
works in the opposite direction too for me. Like once I started making small steps towards a better thing, the better thing would meet me way more than halfway.
Yeah.
And that's every day now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. For sure. Yeah. But nothing in me wants to relive any of those. I couldn't even fathom right now praying to Satan.
Right.
Like, what is wrong with you, sir?
Well, we were out of our minds.
I mean, literally out of my mind. And the amazing part about it, I never forget that it worked.
Right.
So the good part of what you said, it depends on where your mindset is. So the same way that you put all of that energy, I put that energy into getting something that night and kind of out of my mind. And, you can do the same as far as your recovery.
Right.
And bust your butt in regards to getting what you know are going to get in recovery. Some people look at me like, well, Maurice, why are you opening up in all these places? You're here, there, da, 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 da. Listen, man, I would have walked backwards for 5 miles to get some cocaine. You know what I mean? So I'm
Whatever
not going to
it
put
took,
whatever it took. I'm not going to put it in, you know, all of these barriers on my success now. You know, I didn't put any barriers on what I was doing and how I presented myself when I was getting high.
It did not matter.
It did not matter. So
There's a goal. That's how I'm going to get there. That's it.
yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get there no matter what. Just amazing, you know. I've been in every psych hospital in the city. Tucker's when you could smoke in there. Actually.
Okay. Yeah. I've seen the inside of a.
Yeah, yeah. The nurses used to give you a cigarette, Marlboro, and I used to hate those things, but I definitely used to smoke them when I were in there.
Right.
You know, we used to go in this little room. Might as well have been a freaking gas chamber.
Oh, I'm sure.
But sitting in there smoking, been to MCV,
Yeah.
been to Richmond Community too.
St. Mary's.
You never been to St.
Oh, really?
Mary's?
That was my success story.
Yeah.
It's amazing how we used to live will take you. I mean, it's just it's hard even people out there can't understand unless they've been there. I mean,
no, I remember one time I was homeless and this was like the first night that I was like really on the street. This was after Gaston.
mm-hmm.
And I got high through the whole storm and you know.
Oh, that was a bad one. Yeah.
Didn't have anywhere to go.
Right.
Came to my mom's house. And she let me in and it's like, can I get something to eat? I got something to eat and I lay across the bed and I was about to fall asleep. I was like, oh, it's great. I can get some rest till tomorrow. She was like, baby, you got to go. Oh my God. That was like, I felt like I was the only one walking the streets that night. And I walked from Churchill to 8th Street to this little parking booth thing in a little parking lot. So I lived in there for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
The door was open because where they do Fridays at sunset, all of the benches were full over there.
Yeah.
I instantly understood why homeless people wear long sleeves because at night the mosquitoes are relentless.
Right.
So they were tear your butt up. So I slept there, you know, for a little while until I found until I got into the Freedom House. But I stayed there for a little while. I used to take showers at the Marriott upstairs. This is before the whole key card thingy. And I would go up there and take a shower, get soap. I used to go to Pennies from Heaven and get boxers for like 50 cents or a quarter. And I had a job, you know, but, you know, I had to try to stay clean and shaved.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a work uniform. So, you know, I stayed halfway together.
Right.
Because I had a work uniform. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing how far you've come.
Yeah, a long way, man. I think about them stories. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I was a maniac.
It's wild. I mean, it's just amazing. Like anybody out there, if you're in a situation like that, here we are. We've been there and we're not doing that anymore.
No. And that's what, like you said, what would I tell somebody? Like, just don't give up. Believe in yourself. Know that you can take it to the next level. Find something to focus on. Find a goal in mind, you know, beyond just staying clean. Like, where do you see yourself even after being clean? Do you want to paint cars? Do you want to get into carpentry? You want to become an electrician? Do you want to work as a waitress or a waiter? Or, you know, you might want to open a food truck. Please put your head on something.
Yeah, something to go toward.
Yeah, something to strive for and push for a goal.
Right.
Because with that, then it's some energy behind what you're doing. It's like, hey, if I'm gonna, you know, do photography, I can't spend my money on crack because I can't buy a camera. Yeah. These two things don't go together, you know. So yeah.
And eventually that thing will help override.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what's happening with me. Is definitely overriding it. I enjoy what I do. there's an apartment building that we're doing a parenting class, and we did a paint and sip thing and doing some different community stuff over there in Houston. And they had a tragedy over there. One of the residents murdered the maintenance man.
Oh,
Yeah. And because we had, have a relationship there, they're calling us and we're giving some grief counseling and stepping in and helping out, with that community over there in Houston. So yeah.
wow.
A lot going on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty good for us.
Okay.
Anything else you want to say out there?
No, just check us out. New Pathways Youth and
Yeah.
Adult Services. We are in 3 states: Richmond, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas. 4 offices: 2 here, 1 in Richmond, 1 in Norfolk, and Duluth in Georgia, and Houston, Texas. So
Awesome.
just go to our website, mpysinc.com, and get in contact with us.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining
you.
us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. We'll love you. Have you back sometime.
Yes. Yes. All right.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.